What's up, YouTube? It's your main man here, Secondhand Hunter. Got another movie review for you guys. I don't know why, but I'm on a sci-fi alien space shuttle UFO run here for the last couple days. It's been great. Let's see how far it goes for me. What I'm reviewing now is Earth versus the Flying Saucers. It's actually, well, it's mediocre. I'll read the back for you guys. Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Relive the exciting days of sci-fi movie matinees with cult classic Earth versus the Flying Saucers, featuring extraordinary visual special effects by cinematic genius Ron Harryhausen. The film pits Earthlings against alien humanoids in a violent battle for Earth's survival. When the zombie-like aliens arrive at the U.S. Army base in search of help for their decaying planet, they try to make friendly contact with scientist Dr. Russ Marvin, played by Hugh Merleau, and his research bride, Carol, played by Joanne Tyler. But the military greets their fleet of saucers with gunfire and the aliens are forced to retreat. Can Marvin invent the ultimate weapon in a deadly game of beat the clock to save the human race? Hold on to your seat for an intergalactic flight into fantasy with Earth versus the Flying Saucers. And this is approximately 83 minutes, like an hour and 23, I think that is. But yeah, as I said, it was mediocre. Check out the picture on the back of it's actually the alien right there, top of the tape, like kind of like Egyptian-like or Native American masks or whatever is kind of what it reminds me of, or even like mummified or something like that. That's kind of odd, but it's mediocre. Basically, they find flying saucers and they I'm unsure about what to do with it, and the doctor, what was it, Dr. Russ Marvin, he was recently married, and they were actually launching satellites up to space and everything like that, for some sort of military project or something, and they were on their way to this launch site as he's recording into this reel-to-reel tape of their project and stuff like that. And as he is doing that, this UFO flies over their car, hovers in front of them, and then takes off. And throughout the whole time there, he left the reel-to-reel tape running, recording. So they got the whole UFO sound and everything on there. Well, later on in the video, it actually turns out that it was at a high pitch to where they didn't understand what it was. It was just like gobbledygook, you know, but it was actually the aliens trying to communicate with them to set up a time to meet, you know, saying we'll be at the launch site at this day here. And that's when they actually went to the launch site, the UFO, they got greeted with gunfire and everything and violence, and didn't understand what was going on. But anyways, their main intent was to actually invade the Earth because their planet was destroyed and stuff. And like they're actually like weird. They reminded me of like the day it stood still. The day that the Earth stood still or something like that. That movie. Kind of the mechanical being that was in that movie. They came out of a spaceship, and it was like kind of similar, you know, but it was more like I don't know. But later on, they explain, like in the their spacesuits and everything like that. The hood or the helmet that they had amplified all the sounds around, amplified their hearing, their sight, and everything else. I thought that was pretty cool. The ending scene with the space shuttles blowing stuff up and stuff like that. It was mediocre. It was okay. I mean, it was somewhat entertaining for the first 5 minutes, and then I kind of lost interest because it was just like they were continuously using the same footage, you know. But I would give this one a 2.5 out of 5. Rent it, maybe do a Google search, see if you can find it online, because it's worth a watch. But you know, I wouldn't say go buy it, just find it on the internet. And I wouldn't even say it's worth renting, you know. Try to find a good source off the internet, or I even do it myself and leave it in the description below so you can save yourself the hassle. But it's worth, like, maybe watching the last part, the first 5 minutes of the UFO battle, and maybe the aliens themselves are interesting. I like the concept of their helmets and stuff like that. And another thing was when they're in their spaceship after they took some of the humans up in space and everything like that, they explained that way they were able to move so quickly is they basically moved in between seconds, you know, if that makes any sense at all. And the aliens told the humans to check their pulse, and they had no pulse because they were moving so fast. So that in itself was actually kind of pretty cool. Other than that, is the scientific type stuff in the movies, like the moving fast between seconds and all, and then the helmet. Yeah, that was cool. I like the thought of it, but the story plot itself, it was actually pretty weak. So I'll leave a link for you guys to check it out, if I can find one. If not, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, but it's I'll probably even be able to find something off the YouTube, because I recall watching it before, but I don't remember where I watched it from. I know it was off the internet. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch, but it's not worth a rent or a buy. So thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.